That morning, when Melissa smiled, it wasn't the warm, familiar smile I'd once fallen in love with. It felt different, sharper, rehearsed, almost unnatural. We were sitting across from each other at the kitchen table, half-finished coffee cups between us, the scent of toast lingering in the air. She set her phone down, looked me straight in the eye, and said it so casually that I thought I'd misheard her. "My ex wants kids," she said, pausing only to take a sip of her coffee. "So, I'm getting my tubes untied." For a moment, the world seemed to vanish. The hum of the fridge, the ticking clock. Even my own heartbeat felt distant. I blinked, thinking maybe this was some cruel joke. "Come again?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She leaned back in her chair, completely unshaken. "You heard me. Daniel reached out last week. He's going through a divorce and realized he wants a family before it's too late. And I've been thinking about it too." It felt like someone had just sucked the air from the room. "You've been thinking about it with him?" I repeated in disbelief. Melissa shrugged, as if we were casually talking weekend plans. "It's not like you ever wanted kids, Jake. You made that clear years ago. I'm just taking control of my life again." Control. That word cut deep. In 7 years together, I thought we had built everything on trust and communication. She'd always said she didn't want children, that she valued her career and freedom. We had accepted that long ago, or at least I had. Now, sitting there, I realized how easily she had rewritten our history. "So, let me get this straight," I said slowly. "You're planning to undo major surgery because your ex suddenly wants kids?" Her tone softened, almost gentle. "Jake, don't make this about you. I'm not leaving you. I just want options." I stared at her, jaw tight. "Options? Melissa, marriage isn't about options. It's about commitment." She sighed, glancing back at her phone like I was interrupting her schedule. "You're being dramatic," she murmured. Something inside me broke at that moment. Not just trust, but the illusion that I even knew the person across from me. I stood, leaving my coffee untouched. "You know what, Melissa? You're right. I don't want kids. But I also don't want a wife planning a future with another man while still wearing my ring." Her eyes flickered, but she didn't stop me as I walked out. For the next 2 days, I remained in silence. No calls, no texts, no explanations. I stayed at my friend Ryan's, trying to make sense of it all. But there was no logic in betrayal. Melissa had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed, and she did it without hesitation. On the 3rd day, I went home. Her car was in the driveway, lights on inside. I almost turned around, but part of me needed closure, or proof that the woman I loved had become a stranger. Inside, she was on the phone, pacing the living room. Her voice was low, tense. She didn't notice me at first. "I told you not to call me here," she whispered sharply. "Yes, I'm serious, but not yet. He's still here sometimes." There it was. Confirmation. My hands clenched, but I stayed silent until she hung up. When she finally turned and saw me, her face drained of color. "Jake, I don't," she started. "Just don't," I said, holding up my hand. Was that Daniel? Her silence said it all. I stepped closer, calm but firm. "So let me guess. The tubes thing wasn't just about wanting kids, was it? You were already planning a life with him." Tears welled in her eyes. Even then, she tried to play the victim. "Jake, I didn't mean for you to find out like this. You've been distant, and Daniel, he understands me." I almost laughed. "Understands you? Melissa, I gave you everything. Stability, loyalty, peace. You wanted chaos, and you found it." She wiped her tears, voice trembling. "You make it sound like I cheated." I stared, stunned. "You emotionally did, Melissa. You made a life-changing decision based on another man's desires. You planned a future with him while still living in my house." She looked away, whispered, "I just wanted to feel wanted again." And there it was, the truth buried beneath excuses. It wasn't about kids or choice or control. It was about validation, ego, filling a void she refused to face. I didn't say another word. I went upstairs, packed a single bag, and left my wedding ring on the nightstand. Closing the door, I realized that sometimes betrayal doesn't come with shouting or slammed doors. It can arrive disguised as a morning coffee smile. A week passed before I heard from her. I had moved into a small downtown apartment, the kind of place where silence feels like company. One evening, my phone buzzed. Her name lit up the screen. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Jake," she said softly, voice trembling. I need to tell you something. I'm in the hospital. There was a complication during the reversal surgery." I froze. "You actually went through with it?" She started crying. "It wasn't supposed to go like this. I thought Daniel would be here, but he hasn't called in days. I don't know what to do. The bills, I can't." It hit me. She wasn't calling for forgiveness. She was calling for help, financial help, from the man she betrayed. "Melissa," I said slowly, "you made a choice. Several, actually. You chose him. You chose this." "I know," she sobbed. "But please, Jake, I don't have anyone else. I'm scared." Her voice, once confident and commanding, now sounded like a child begging not to be left alone in the dark. I stayed silent, listening to her regret echo through the phone. "You remember when you told me I didn't need to know what you were doing?" I finally said, "Well, this is one of those times. I don't need to know, and I don't need to pay for it either." She gasped softly. "You can't mean that." "I do," I said. "You didn't just betray me, Melissa. You betrayed the life we built, the trust, the years, everything. I can't fund the consequences of your choices." She went quiet. I almost felt guilty, almost. Then I remembered that morning smile, her calm declaration that she was doing for her ex. That was the moment she let me go, long before I ever walked out. "Goodbye, Melissa," I said and hung up. I never heard from her again. A mutual friend later told me Daniel ghosted her the moment things got complicated. He didn't want kids. He just wanted control. Life has a cruel way of teaching lessons. For her, it came with hospital bills and silence. For me, it brought peace, the kind that comes only when you stop rescuing people who chose to drown. That's the thing about betrayal. It always costs more than the betrayer expects. Sometimes the price is love. Sometimes it's everything. For Melissa, it was